Hey there, before this episode begins, just a sorry for the time it took for me to come out with another episode. But I do have a few people lined up for a couple episodes to come, some old, some new. In other big news, we're on Google Podcasts now, so you can now find us there on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Big shout out to our Patreon, Kevin. And if you'd like to join him in these little intro shout outs, you can go to patreon.com/pastime. But you can support in other ways, such as giving us a 5-star rating on Apple, following us on Instagram, or simply sharing the podcast with someone you think might enjoy it. It's all appreciated. And if you're interested in a little bit of a extra of my voice, sometimes you can find me on Twitch at pastime_streamer. You can come hang out. But now to the episode. Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Pastime Thinker podcast. I'm your host, Frederick Piquette, and today my guest is another return guest, Josh, or King Tamacross on Twitch. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, you?
Good. We both live in Ontario, and there's another lockdown. How do you feel about that?
I would like to say called it.
Called it. Yeah. No,
Like
I
the
think
first
a lot of people probably have the exact same sentiment.
Yeah, I knew there was gonna be like a second wave. I just didn't realize that this would be as bad as it was. So
Yeah, after the first lockdown finished up, I was thinking I thought I thought we were gonna get a second lockdown immediately after. I was like, oh yeah, no, we're just gonna fuck this up and we're just gonna go right back to where we were. But it was a few months out, still within the same year. Like this is still our second lockdown within, a 12-month period. But I was expecting the second lockdown to happen immediately after the first one.
honestly, for me, I kind of expected the lockdown to be worse than that because of what happened with the first lockdown.
Yeah.
Mainly because I just don't feel like we should have been in stage 3
In
for
what do you
as
mean?
we were.
Oh, like
Basically, what? Sorry, I feel like we should be in stage 2 for like maybe up until the end of the year, like the end of 2020.
yeah.
But since we moved to stage 3 so quickly, that that's that would make the second wave so worse, you know?
Yeah, there was just a huge jump to and everything's okay now. But
Yeah, and not to mention all those people that bitching about my apology for language, but
that was
playing
fine.
about like wearing a mask and shit, you know?
Yeah, I never I understand that a small, very small percentage of people probably have a reasonable excuse why they can't wear a mask, but not in the numbers that people are claiming. The way people will have you oh yeah, 1 in 5 people are unable to wear a mask. No. People are more than capable of wearing masks.
Fuck, I did for like 5 to 8 hours when I was at my job. So
That I haven't
I
had to
and
do that, but that I would still do it, but it'd be irritating as hell to have to wear a mask for that long.
yeah, it is. And I used to have asthma, so
Yeah,
like
and did you have an asthma attack? Did you have problems breathing? As an asthmatic, how was it wearing a mask?
I don't have it anymore. Like I used to have it when I was a kid, but honestly, like it's something you gotta get used to. If that makes sense.
The wearing of the mask?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like breathing through the mask and such. Like once you like the first like week or so, you might have trouble breathing. But other than that, like I kind of felt no difference.
Yeah. The worst thing for me wearing a mask was just cuz my glasses got foggy. But then I would wear a mask and take my glasses off and basically treat Jillian as my seeing eye dog. I was just I'll
Yeah.
wear the mask, but I would rather not see than deal with foggy fucking glasses. So I'm just gonna hold on to the grocery cart, and you're just gonna lead me to where I'm going.
Wait, don't you? I thought like for you using, I thought for you using the glasses was like optional. I thought you can see, just fine. You
No,
know.
I'm nearsighted, which means
Oh,
I can read without glasses. I can see things very close. I'm not wearing my glasses right now, and I see my computer just fine. It's basically everything more than about I'd say 4 or 5 feet away from me get very fuzzy. So
Oh,
like
okay.
I can see
I
up
did not know
close.
that.
Yeah. So like I can see up close just fine. It's the farther things get away, the fuzzier they get.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I remember like I used to have bifocals, but I never used them. So
I what?
it's like this. So like bifocals are like you'd have the glasses, your the lenses of your glasses, and then like there'd be like a rectangle at the bottom of both sets of lenses where like it wasn't a prescription lens, so you can just look through the bifocals of your glasses to read and stuff like that. But I would prefer just to take my glasses off to read.
Hmm.
But yeah, anyway, that was a fun little segue. I'm
Fuck. The only time I need glasses is do you know those projectors in school?
the old school ones, the like turn all the lights
Yeah,
off and
yeah. They bring down the white, like the white. I was called like a cape, but it's not a cape.
the
But
sheet something. Yeah, the
yeah,
screen.
the sheet.
I guess it's just a screen, a projector screen.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't know.
You know, there's probably a good majority of
Whenever
people who don't even know what we're talking about.
no.
I'm pretty sure that's super outdated now. I think like all classrooms just have like smart boards now.
Thank God, I can actually see them. Like,
Yeah. Well, that was a
yeah.
fun
So
learning curve.
whenever, yeah. So whenever it turns on, whatever like food that seafood, I don't know what the hell they're called. Yeah, as a machine protected the light on the screen, I cannot see anything. It's
Hmm.
complete blur to me.
Like just the entire thing.
Yes,
Huh. I never had that issue.
completely like
That's interesting. I
I
wonder what that
don't.
would be.
I'm not sure, but when I went to get my eyes checked, basically like my I can see in standard definition, but to see in like HD, I have to wear glasses.
To see in HD, that's a fun way to put it. It's like I can
Well,
see.
she did all the medical terms, and and as soon as she finished, I just asked her, can you say that in English, please?
Yeah. So it's just like
And
you.
that's how she explained it to me.
So like you can see well, just like I don't even know how to describe. Yeah, just like difference between like seeing in standard versus seeing in HD.
Yeah, I had like good chuckle when she said that to me, but
Yeah, like I know like when I take my like again being nearsighted, like I see everything close to me just fine, and like as anyone else would see it. It's just when things get like the farther things get away, like the more they kind of like get fuzzy, kind of lose their shape. I can still like identify shapes and stuff like that. It's just like one thing actually that I'll say that like, the first thing I noticed when I got my very first pair of glasses was grass blades. Like being
grass
able
blades.
yeah, like being able to look like at grass and like be able from a standing up point of view be able to like see each individual like blade of grass. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know
Uh,
grass looked
I
like that."
I was about to say like, oh shit, grass.
Is this what everyone's talking about?
My God, I didn't even realize it was green.
But yeah, like that, like it's just things like that. Like if I'm not wearing my glasses, then like grass just looks like just like a green. I want to say a green field, but that's what grass looks like, anyways. But like just like green. Like I just see the color green. Like no really like specific details like within that, unless I were to like get real close to the ground and look at it.
Ah, yes, grass is green. Good to know. Good to know.
But like that's what I mean though. Like it's just things sort of lose their shape. Not that they lose their shape, they just get like rounded and like become like very like they lose their shape, but not to the point where like if I see a car down the road and I'm not wearing my glasses, I won't be like, what's that strange orb over there?
So basically, you just see like a slab of green
Yeah,
whenever you see grass.
without my glasses. I wear glasses.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, I didn't know that because that was my normal, right? I'm like, oh, that is grass.
Like you see everything like in Minecraft like type.
Yeah, I see everything in Minecraft graphics.
You need glasses just to see everything in real life.
Yeah, I actually have to take my glasses off to play Minecraft. If I take my glasses off and play Minecraft, it looks like it's the real world.
Yeah, as soon as you play Minecraft, you just had like a fucking like a fuck. What's it called?
Dude, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what.
My yeah. I'm obviously great at explaining things,
Oh, for
so
sure. For sure. Oh. But yeah, I get like back to the what we were talking about, like it's just ridiculous that we're already back at this stage. Like even where I'm from, where we're like for the most part, like we had like no cases. Like I lived in a very like relatively speaking like safe part of Ontario, and we kind of just got in like fell into the first lockdown because it was province wide, and haha, we're in the province, right? Like that was basically the only reason why we had to lock down. And now like this go around, we're in a lockdown again, and we're getting cases like, and the numbers are going up even here every day, which is
there's an
concerning me.
outbreak in my there's an outbreak in my city.
Is there?
Yes.
Wow.
Like in 3 days, like 30 people got tested like positive for COVID.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Even up there, like, cause you're even more north than I am. Like you live like you live in my hometown. Actually, to come to think of it, you live in my hometown right now, and I live in yours.
No, I was born in Ottawa.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. Why did I always think it was here? I knew that it was Ottawa. Regardless,
Uh,
um, I didn't know that
yeah.
you guys were getting cases.
Apparently there was a flight that was at risk, or there was a like a super spreader or whatever the fuck it's called. And as soon as I come here, and then like everybody's just starting positive, and I'm just like fucking great.
Yeah, that's just when you
Like
lock
fuck
your.
this shit. I'm go.
Yeah, just lock yourself in
Fuck
your
this shit.
bedroom.
Fuck this shit. I'm go play WoW. You know.
I mean, like I know that it's like a case by case basis, but like just staying the fuck home like isn't as big of an issue as people like are claiming it is. Like I understand if you need to
Yeah, but
work. Like I understand
it's
people who like need to work and like make money. I understand that. It's just if you're already in that position where you have a job, either if you're you're an essential worker or you're able to work during this, like when you're not at work, you should just be home. Like
yeah, exactly. Like honestly, with the honestly, if you really think about it, like our lifestyle, if you really think about it, like I'm talking about the two of us,
okay.
nothing really changed because I'm always in my room. I'm always like I'm always like working on YouTube videos. I'm always like figure out stuff to do on Twitch. Like I'm basically in my room 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's
And that and I'm sorry,
go on. Sorry,
continue.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
No worries. Now you go.
I was about to say like the only thing in my daily life that's changed is the fact that I don't have a like I don't go to the office to work. I just work from home, which does
Yeah,
result in me
exactly. You
spending
know.
a lot more time than I was before at home. But I'm
Like
getting
for
my
me,
work done.
I'm yeah, for me, I'm just like a shut. Like I just don't leave the house. Period. I know I should. Like the only time I leave the house is to get food, go to the gym, go to work, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like again, I know that like a lot of people will probably have an issue with this just because I'm not saying that like there are not people losing their jobs and stuff like that because of the shutdowns. I'm talking to the people who are both privileged and bitching about this. Like,
Yeah, the people who have the savings to write this out and they're still bitching about it.
well, not even just the savings. Like again, like people who are able to work from home or like still like get an income during this shutdown, and then still are screaming about how their rights are being trampled or how it's like it's just a super huge inconvenience to their regular life, like just completely
You
disregarding like what's
poor,
actually going on out there, like to people who like are being affected by this.
you poor soul. And every time I go outside, I have to worry about catching it because if I don't, the person I'm living with, which is my mother, she will die. and I'm not fucking bitching. So
Yeah. And like I would even double down on it too, because even for the people who are like are in a privileged position who are still bitching about the lockdown on behalf of the people who, are really suffering from this, it's like, well, if you just listen to the fucking precautions, then those people that you're trying to champion will be able to go back to work sooner.
I I do agree with you, but that's like a certain thing nagging in my head is the fact that just some jobs that was already kind of on the fence and
Yeah.
that most people work is kind of being phased out like right now. Like the only thing with this shit going, like I will go to like the restaurant or like the club. Like I
Yeah.
I don't do those already. Like honestly for the clubs type I can drink I can basically just recreate the club for like $20
Yeah, with one
with
LCBO run
with
and a Bluetooth speaker.
with better music, better drinks, and basically me playing like Doom or something like that, you know?
For
Like
sure.
and I don't have to talk to people.
I don't have to. What are you doing? Just at the club.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
who are you with? No one. Where are you? Home. But like, no, this is
Yeah.
definitely gonna change a lot of things. Like, even like once COVID dies down, once everything blows over, like, there's gonna be a new normal, right?
Uh, uh, yeah, I guess you are correct.
You guess I'm correct. Well, I mean,
I don't really like to use the term new normal because honestly, when I kind of think about that, like I guess it's just how to live my life, but nothing had changed through this
mhm.
entire lockdown for me.
I meant from like a
The
societal
only
point
thing
of view.
yeah, that's true. Like the only thing that changed for me is I got file. Like I was at a healthy weight, and then been started drinking, and when I start drinking, I would take out, and yeah, I'm
Oh
a
yeah,
fucking idiot. But
no, that's you got.
thank you for telling me that I'm a fucking idiot, Fred.
No, I
Thank you
said
so much.
said it's normal. Like when you drink, you want that greasy food, you want that junk food. I'm just as guilty of it. I think anybody who's ever been drunk, like I don't believe like vegans get drunk, because like I don't
What?
see like I'm just making a joke. Like I don't see how like is there like a vegan food that would like appetize someone who's like really drunk and just like looking for that like I need some messy food right now.
Fuck. Like maybe like nachos.
That's not cheese. Well, if you have vegan cheese,
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not fucking vegan.
no,
Like I
neither
have
am
egg.
I.
I have eggs for breakfast, so
Well, try again tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh.
Fuck.
But no, like whenever things happen, like on a global scale, well, not even on a global scale. I'll say even though this is happening on a global scale, I'll just like for the sake of my comparison on like a countrywide scale, even when that thing is over, the country is still left changed, and like even though things are good again because of that thing that happened, the country is still changed. Like I think of the Great Depression. Like, we're not in that situation anymore, but our country was still changed by the Great Depression that created a new normal for how, people conducted themselves.
Yeah, like honestly, like I was kind of surprised it didn't turn into a Great Depression type. Maybe because like COVID hit so fast,
Yeah.
and like tens of millions of people lose their jobs. Like I haven't, I have people have been like talking about how we're basically in another like Great Depression,
I wouldn't be surprised if
but
we're, like, in the beginning of another one. Like, I don't, it hasn't quite happened yet, and, like, I'm still on the fence whether I'm convinced it will or will not happen. But I feel like hopefully if we learned our lesson from the first one, like, I hope there's things in place to avoid a Great Depression happening again.
we never do. We never do.
Because,
I
like,
mean,
when
as
you,
a like a history upside.
I was just saying, like, because when you think about it, like, the Great Depression didn't like happen not that long ago. Like when you think of like the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah, true. But the problem is, the Great Depression kind of had like the reason why it kind of started is I think World War I, and I don't think like you can really co- like compare. That makes sense.
Yeah. I know you can't really compare this with World War One, of course. I'm just talking about like a thing that happened that was horrible for everyone involved. It subsided, but we were still left changed by that thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who had fun with World War I?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're trying to say, but I feel like just saying like new normal, like honestly, if you were going to go like that, like new normal can be like what happened tomorrow, and that's like the new normal. And the next day, that's the new normal. That's the next day, that's the new
Yeah.
normal. That
No,
makes sense.
no it does. I completely get what you mean. I don't know. I don't have a better word for it. That's
Me either.
new standards, like the new standard of the world.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's probably like a better way of saying it. Like I kind of feel like new normal is kind of the like easy version of explaining to people. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
Like
guess
I'm
so.
not.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I'm not complaining about the new normal. We honestly probably shouldn't be doing this in the first place, but
Yeah, no, I completely like I'm gonna listen to like whatever they tell, like whatever makes this fucking shit end sooner, man. Like that's the side I'm on, the side of whatever makes this
yeah,
shit end sooner.
yeah. The problem is with people who don't follow the guidelines, they're gonna make it even longer and just like,
Well, yeah, that's what
you
I mean. Like
fucking
what happens when, they say another 2 week shutdown that, leads into another 5 months, that leads into a 5 month shutdown like in March. And then we think things
yeah,
are going okay, and then the numbers just explode because people are so desensitized to the situation now because it's been going on for, almost a year, that, then we just have another spike because people just didn't fucking wait long enough.
yeah. As the time of this recording, well, everything Ontario has already been Ontario extended. Excuse me, till the end of the month, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So
And like they're discussing implementing a curfew. From what I've read, I don't think they're going to. Like they're kind of discussing it just so they can say that they discussed it, but like they're not really like privy to wanting to do it.
I don't think the curfew would do anything.
I mean, it would stop like people from like going out at night and getting into groups because like who wants to party at like 3 in the afternoon, right?
Well, there might be some people,
Oh, of course,
especially with the way 2020 went.
of course. Like it
Just fuck,
definitely has
just
its like if you weigh the pros and
uh,
cons, I think that like the pros are like there's pros to it. I just don't think they're strong pros. You know what I mean? Besides like
yeah,
the
like stuff.
yeah, cuz like yeah, like if they
I
have
just
like
don't think like cook. Sorry,
oh, it's
my
okay.
God, we are just fucking
Oh
terrible
yeah, we
today.
just keep talking over each other, man.
I know why. It's fucking middle school all over again.
But yeah, I just feel like if they implement a curfew, like again, all that's going to do is just de-insensitize people to like wanting to party. But like I don't think that like for the most part there's a lot of people that are like getting into like huge groups and like throwing huge house parties. Like it's definitely happening, but I think like deterring the small few people that are doing it like won't. I feel like if they were going to implement a curfew, they should have done it in the first lockdown.
Yeah, I agree with you. But honestly, with the whole curfew thing, like if someone just decided that they want to go partying, they're gonna fucking do it. Like
Yeah,
personally, I never understand the appeal of it. That makes sense.
yeah,
Like
and like I don't know, like there's definitely probably some cities in Ontario that have the resources to enforce it, but like I don't think like every city in Ontario like have the resources to enforce a curfew, which would also just make it a mute point because like why would you enforce it if like you can't? Why would you implement it if you cannot enforce it?
Yeah, true.
Like, I think I'd probably be more open to a curfew if like I believed that we could enforce a curfew. But like there's just too many holes. People are going to do it anyways. Like if we really have the resources to enforce it, like that just kind of makes me like, yeah, you can do it, but like I don't think it's going to be helpful. Like but if they could clearly enforce a curfew like properly and like hard, I'd probably believe in it a little bit more. But I feel like at this point it'd be a joke if they enforced a curfew because no one would listen to it. They wouldn't be able to fully enforce it. That's just where I'm
Yeah,
at.
I can definitely see people just like going out 1 minute after curfew, just like taunting the cops, like, "What the fuck are you gonna do about it, bitch?" You know?
Yeah, it's like there's only 2 of you on duty. You can't arrest all 30 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and it's that exact
I mean,
situation that like again, there's some cities like Toronto could probably enforce a curfew, but
oh, definitely.
like the medium to small sized cities throughout Ontario, like I don't think that it'd be taken seriously, which kind of just defeats the point of implementing it in the first place.
Not to mention, if you arrest like each and every person that broke curfew and then throw them in jail, like
Yeah, then they're
you're kind of just standing out.
yeah, then they just start
You
crowding
got
the jail.
yeah, exactly. Fuck. You could tell you're rusty, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a while since I recorded an episode, but
Yeah, I'm basically like your emergency guess, I guess.
oh no, I'm recording a few episodes this week.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, you just thought about the podcast like I record anything in a month. Just like
Kind
call
of.
Josh.
It's like, yo, I
Like
need
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. You know I'm down to almost anything. So
Oh no, it's fun to have you on. I genuinely enjoy talking to you. Like I know that like, without getting into too much stuff and like without trying to like throw you under the bus, like you and I do have very political, very meaningful discussions that, is probably just best that we don't put in the public space just because, you and I talk about it in a safe area where we're kind of just like spitballing ideas, spitballing ideologies that like, that just for the sake of talking about it, right? Like it's not that you're
yeah,
as much
that's
as like an emergency guest for me. Like I genuinely enjoy talking to you.
yeah. By the way, you are walking a very thin line.
An
I'm just
extremely
letting you
thin line.
know.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of exciting. Cause I can just allude to anything now. I can
I
allude to anything now. Like, what are we gonna? Which
I'm
side of the
trying
aisle are
to
we gonna
think.
piss off?
Oh, are you trying to blackmail me or something?
I just need you to say something while we're recording. I'm not even gonna post this episode. Just something I can use for leverage later.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but to be fair, I do think humongous anime titties are better than small anime titties. Thank
Okay,
you very
well
much.
I am posting this episode, so you might want to.
Come on, come at me, small anime titties. Come see, bro. Don't fuck at me.
Oh,
And personally, I think SAO is fucking terrible.
we're
Like,
not getting into this. I love Sword Art Online. If anybody listening is thinking about watching anime, I think Sword Art Online is a perfect starter anime. It's good.
seriously?
Absolutely. At least season
Fucking
1.
no.
Season 1. I'll say season 1. It does fall off a cliff, but season 1 is untouchable in my opinion.
Honestly, I would probably if someone come up to me and said like, "Hey, Josh, will you recommend me an anime to watch?" The first thing I would probably say is probably like Cowboy Bebop. You know?
Oh, like super classic. Like I think anyone today, if you have no
It,
knowledge of anime, like if you have no prior experience with anime, like my go-to suggestions would be Sword Art Online, Seven Deadly Sins, Naruto Shippuden, and then your choice, either like Bleach or One Piece.
yeah, I was about to mention the Forbidden Four.
The
Sorry,
Forbidden Four. What is the Forbidden? It's Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and what's the fourth one?
come on,
Is it not? It's
come
not
on,
Dragon
come
Ball,
on.
is it?
It's Dragon Ball.
It is Dragon Ball. I thought like
Yes.
Dragon Ball was like actually a loved classic. Like I didn't know it was.
No, like I guess we gotta explain people what the Forbidden Four is.
It's basically like.
Basically,
Oh yeah, I'll
I'm
let you
sorry.
explain it. Go for it.
Basically, like in internet forums, if you mention one of the four anime we just talked about, which is Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, the original Naruto, we're not talking about any sequels and that, and Dragon Ball Z, like the entire thread, no matter what you're talking about, will just be about those four.
Yeah.
And so it kind of come up with the nickname the Forbidden Four. Like that's how you allude to what you're
It,
trying to say.
yeah. I had a different kind of like way of explaining that. I always thought they were called the Forbidden Four because if any or all or any combination of those four anime are the only anime you've ever watched or are interested in, you're not a real anime fan. Because like they're the most popular.
No, I never.
They are good.
Well, first,
They are good, but if they're
yeah,
the only ones you've watched, then like you don't watch anime.
yeah, I never actually. Well, first of all, just shows you how old we are in terms of the anime fandom. But I never saw it. I never heard of it as a gatekeeping type of thing.
I
Like,
always saw it as a gatekeeping.
type of thing.
I was always it was always explained to me like as a form of gatekeeping that
Hmm.
like those four are like intermediate. Like that's you watch one or any of those to start, but if that's the only thing you have under your belt, then you don't watch anime. But all four of them are perfect ways to start.
Hmm. Well, the show and like drama. But
Yeah.
if you want to go into like different types of anime, like honestly, like I don't want to sound like a jackass,
Oh,
but I always
but
thought
you'll
about
power
like
through it.
yeah, I always thought like because technically Pokemon is an anime.
Oh, so's Yu-Gi-Oh and Sailor Moon.
Yeah, and don't yes, like I also thought like those would be like the gatekeeping type of thing. Like someone said like, oh, I watch Pokemon, like those three, like I'm an anime fan, and some like snarly like neckbeard type be like, oh, clearly you're not anime fan because you only watch those three or something like that.
I find that with Sailor, like it's specifically Sailor Moon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Now I got
Pokemon.
now I got the fucking Sailor Moon song in my head.
But I find with those three specifically, I feel like they've been so like I don't want to say the word taken over, but I don't have a better word for it, but like taken over by like Western culture because the Japanese version of those shows compared to the Western versions of those shows are very different. So I feel like those shows have been like almost changed into like I wouldn't even call them an anime. Like I know that they are anime, but like they're more just like children's cartoons to the Western civilization. To be completely
Yeah,
honest,
there was guns and Yu-Gi-Oh and like Pokemon, like the two and Sailor Moon, like I believe two of the magical girls, I guess you can say.
yeah,
Like I don't know what they're
two of
called.
the sailors.
Like two of them, yeah. I don't know. I never watched it.
But yeah, two of
Um,
the sailors in the
like two,
original. Wow, we just keep doing this. This is going to be the entire
yeah,
episode, just us talking the
yeah,
same thing over
yes,
each
yeah.
other.
uh, two of the magical girls, like that's why I was calling them.
Mhm.
They were originally lovers, but they changed it into sisters in the
Yeah,
Western version because by God, if you just
yeah.
like
No,
which is strange because
there's no way that the
sorry.
LGBTQ community would have that kind of representation at that time. But the show was so popular that they had to air it. So they're like, never mind, they're sisters. Like that's why they live together in a single bedroom apartment. They're just sisters.
Oh yeah, the very good friend.
Yeah. And then like same with Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like I'm pretty sure there was an entire season of Yu-Gi-Oh that was completely removed. Like there's no
Uh,
dubbed version of it.
Yu- Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero.
Yeah, maybe it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero. I'm not entirely. All
Yeah,
I know is that there
that's what it's
was.
called.
Yeah, there was an entire season of Yu-Gi-Oh that like wasn't even dubbed or made for Western civilization because it was like considered like too. I think it was because it was too dark. Like it was. It's not.
Western civilization. You could say Western or like US.
Western civilized. I don't know. I keep thinking of like a college book, like because when I was in college, I used to work at the school bookstore in college, and there was this huge textbook, like this, like it could probably like cover my chest, and it was like 2 or 3 inches thick, and it was just called Western Civilization, like in like so that's what came
Now,
to
just
my
now, it's just drill into your head.
yeah.
Yeah. So for the Yu-Gi-Oh zero season, it had nothing to do with the card game, and all about like the shit. What's it called?
Uh,
So basically,
I
I
actually
can't remember
haven't
the name,
watched it.
but
I have not watched it. I just know it exists. Like I haven't seen it.
uh, so basically, like some asshole is doing asshole things, and like Yugi is like not really a participant, like not really like a participant, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he's not like
Like
the
he's
main
there,
character.
but he's and then Yami, which is
The
Yugi other self
the pharaoh.
in yeah, the fellow that Bob, I should probably just say fellow comes out and basically say like, okay, bad guy person, if we're gonna play a little game basically, and if you
Oh.
fail, you die. Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you know random fact in like the original Yu-Gi-Oh like anime? Have you ever questioned what the Shadow Realm is?
Oh yeah, it's death. It's hell, right?
Yeah, it's death. In the
Yeah.
Japanese version, they just like you die, but they can't have that for a children's show, like
Yeah,
for kids. And so they just send them to the Shadow Realm.
exactly. And we're gonna take a small break here, actually. And
We reached the time.
dude, we're already at like 36 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
take
time
a
flies, I guess.
yeah, we're gonna take a small break right now. All right, and
Okay, add time.
we'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by Brotherhood MFG. Brotherhood MFG is a clothing brand centered around car culture with a fresh style. They've even given me a special discount code to give to you guys. So if you go to teespring.com/stores/brotherhoodmfg and use discount code PASTIME in all caps, you'll get a 13% discount off the entire store. All right, and we're back. Just had a nice little break.
Yeah, we did typical like stuff, I guess. I don't
Typical
know.
stuff. Stuff? Yeah, the kind of typical.
Yes, stuff, and we're only going to go with that.
Yeah. Mind you, like we didn't talk about this during the break, but like it did come up. Like it came up in my head, and I think we can probably talk about it. Because of the lockdowns, do you think that there's been a surplus, I'd say, of people like trying to join like the internet sphere, via podcasting, Twitch streaming, that a lot of people trying to make I guess a business out of being at home. Cuz
Hmm. I get that is I can definitely see that. Like I like was Twitch streaming for like a long time. Nobody loves me, but but yeah, I used to like do Twitch streaming as a hobby. Then I didn't have enough time to do it,
Mhm.
and so now I just have all this time. It's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just do Twitch. I do YouTube. Like
Yeah,
I think that's probably the attitude on most people like that doing it right now.
like fuck it,
I'm fuck.
I got time now.
Yeah, I have time now. Like fuck, you're the one that's doing it too.
Like I started doing the podcast like almost a full year before the first shutdown, but I started streaming on Twitch myself during the lockdown, and like yeah, it was kind of out of boredom, just like fuck it, something to do.
Like fuck, I was the one who helped you set it up.
Oh god, painstakingly. I'm so technologically inept. It's painful. Like I know I'm a burden when it comes to that stuff.
Uh, I don't know. I didn't know we talked about this last time I was on. But remember when you were in college and you wanted to show me some of your projects, and you asked for my email, and I was like, "Fuck, you talking about, man? If it's posted online, you could just post it in the Facebook
Yeah,
Messenger."
I did not know
And
how to share a YouTube link in Facebook Messenger.
fuck. I just started laughing. I was like, "Fucking serious, man."
Dude, I'm dead serious. I'm so bad. Like I'm not like too terrible now. Like out of a little bit of experience with the podcast. I've kind of figured out OBS a little bit. I'm learning how to use editing software a little bit. I had to learn a few
You're
things just to
welcome.
yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I had to learn a little bit just to figure out how to put the podcast online where people can find it. Like, I'm pretty sure. So, like, as of right now, the podcast is on YouTube, it's on Spotify, and this will be the first episode I post since we got on. It'll be on Google Podcasts as well. Each one of those platforms probably took me about a day and a half to figure out each. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, and then also trying to
And
find a host to like put my podcast on to link to other things. Like, that took a whole day.
and and as for like disclosure, everyone, I'm older than him for a year, so I can really use the boomer line.
Yeah,
So
you're only a year older than me. Like, it's just like I'm not like as pathetic anymore. But I remember when I was a kid, like, I had to ask my younger brother to like hook up a DVD player for me because I didn't know how to hook up a DVD player.
how the fuck you hook up the PS2, man?
Dude, like, I know now, it's like, oh, HDMI cable and then plug it in the wall. Like, that's all you need. But I'm talking like back when it was like the white aux cord, the red aux cord, the yellow aux cord. I'm just like, I don't fucking know.
You do realize it's colored, right?
Dude,
It's literally fucking colored.
like, I know that now. Of course I know that now.
It's colored.
I'm aware of it now. It's just like I've always been like several steps behind when it comes to like technology. Like,
Okay.
like if
Imagine if you had to deal with something like S video or something like that.
dude, I don't even know what you're saying.
Exactly.
like there's like a part of me that's really anxious and a part of me that's really excited if this podcast and even my stream like ever go anywhere. The fear of having to upgrade and like do like a real proper professional setup scares the shit out of me, because like that's gonna take me like a week. Like, just to like I had to upgrade and I have all this new shit I don't know how to use.
You have my text, man.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, in I'll just tell you like my philosophy of content creating. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it would be. I kind of feel like it's kind of the direction where I'm going anyways. Like, I have like a computer that can do all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to upgrade, then I will. But right now, I'm basically set.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, if my stream starting popping, if my YouTube starting popping, like right now, I'm probably at the bare minimum of gear. But even if like gear doesn't really matter, your content matter.
Oh,
That makes sense.
of course. But like, as more people want the content, you want to also make sure that the content's getting better, right?
True, but there is a threshold to which like there is a threshold that you can get. Well, like the upgrade wouldn't even fucking matter,
Of course. But I'm just talking about like a proper, like, I'm still working off a laptop. Like, I know that eventually if I want to like reach some form of like good quality, I'm going to eventually have to upgrade to like a full PC setup, which again, I have no fucking clue.
I've been bugging you for that for years now.
Oh, I know. I absolutely know. Dude, I don't know how to fucking set one of those things. And then everybody, like, because I know that there's the whole PC master race, like, shit. Like, dude, like, I don't trust myself to build my own PC. I'm going to get a freaking store-bought. Yeah, I know you did. But, like, if I ever get a freaking computer setup, it's going to be just pre-made in the box, like, from, like, Costco or Walmart or some shit like that. Like, I just know that that's what it's gonna be. Or I'm gonna have to like literally ask someone, it's like, hey, this is what I need, like, build my PC please. Like, I'll pay for it, but like I want, like, I'm just gonna trust that you know what you're doing to build my PC. And like,
hunch, wink, wink.
Yeah. It'll probably very much end up being you, but
yeah, man, like, honestly, like, the way it is now, like,
mm-hmm.
like, honestly, in terms of streaming, I have no idea. Like you have to test that out for yourself because mine's pretty beefy, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, like like it depends on what resolutions that you want to play mainly, you know.
Yeah, and like I'm comfortable like playing like eight. I love 8-bit games. Like just in my own free time, I love 8-bit games. Like 8-bit games are so cool to me. Like just like the creativity behind both indie games and 8-bit games. Like
Yeah, you don't really you don't really need like a 3090 for that, you know.
no,
Yeah,
like
that's like up to like 4K gaming, you know.
yeah, like I don't think I'd ever be one of those people that are like playing competitive Call of Duty on stream. Like that's just not me. But like I would definitely play like
I'm I'm not an FPS player in general.
I used to be like really into first person shooter games. I really do. And then I can't even like I've tried getting back into them and I can't.
Like I remember you and me playing like Call of Duty Zombies, like at your place,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know.
was I was addicted to Call of Duty Zombies. It was such at the time it was such a new thing. It was such a groundbreaking thing. Like you would go and then you'd go to school and be like, "Oh, what's your highest round? Oh, what's your highest round?" And people would like share like strategies and stuff like that to get to higher rounds and like it all
And
came to
that was me just playing Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest.
well, I mean, I still play Final Fantasy. I still play Kingdom Hearts. And like to Jill's demise, of course, because every time I go to restart one of those games, she I'm not gonna say
Dies inside.
I'm not gonna say she throws a fit, but like she kind of shames me. She's
Final
like,
Fantasy 10 again. Like
yeah. In all honesty, like I just finished. Like I've like the compromise I've come up to is I play Final Fantasy X to completion once a year, and I play Kingdom Hearts 2 once a year to completion. And yeah, no, and every time, cause it's usually back to back. So like as soon as I finish Final Fantasy X, I immediately boot up Kingdom Hearts, like, and
you
yeah,
you
every
you
time,
you,
every
you
time,
need your fix.
yeah, and like every time, she just like kind of looks, sees what I'm doing. She's like, really, again, really,
Honestly, I kind of agree with her to be honest, but I think that's kind of more of our like different ways to play, you know?
yeah.
Because for me, it's just like I just go to a game and be like, "Oh, this is cool," and then I play it, and then I get bored of it, and then I go to another game,
Well, that's why I only play
and
it to
I
completion. Like as soon as I'm done with it, I don't touch it for 11 months. Like that way, I don't get bored of it.
yeah, but I yeah, I guess you're right. I just have a bad I have a bad like I guess habit of not finishing games,
Oh,
which is a
well,
problem
maybe
given my preferred genre.
yeah. I mean, not Final Fantasy X because Final Fantasy X is actually very difficult to platinum, like to get 100% to like it's very difficult to 100% Final Fantasy X. But I will keep playing Kingdom Hearts 2 until I 100% it. And I play it on the hardest difficulty as well. So like sometimes it takes me a while, which Jill hates even more.
Ah, God, remember the first time you got Ultimate Weapon?
Yeah, you and I pissed my mom off so much. We were howling, screaming from my basement because we got like the ultimate weapon in Kingdom Hearts 2 by accident too. Like you and I
And
like we didn't do anything on purpose to get it. We just kind of checked and we're like, "Oh, look, we can get this now." Don't know what we did to get it, but like we can get it now. And then we just thought it was dumb luck and we were like, "Yeah, no, my mom was so mad."
I I I think I think the hint I give you was the you were complaining that you didn't have enough the fuck
Yeah, I still can't say that word. Auriculum.
yeah a plus,
Yeah.
even though like you had the max, but there was like you had to get the Mughal level to level 2 to order the craft the ultimate weapon. And
Yeah.
you know what the funny part is?
What?
It's not even the best. It's not even the best keyblade in the game
It's not.
in terms of damage.
No, well, no,
So I
it's
got
the
getting
best for
shit.
magic. It's the best for magic though.
But yeah, but usually finishers is dealing more damage.
Well, the higher your magic stat is what increases your finisher damage in Kingdom Hearts.
No, it's no, pumpkin does more damage, I believe, in total.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you. Sorry, yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna like bore people with like because that this is a game that I can literally
Uh,
talk about like analytically,
are,
like
are,
very
are we gonna
specifically.
talk? Are we gonna talk about the Kingdom Hearts 2 lore
No.
or the Kingdom Hearts lore?
Dude, that would like fuck a podcast. Like it would take an entire series to explain the lore of Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I guess that's the next time we're on.
Just gonna hit the ground running, just like okay. So in Kingdom Hearts 1, uh, Sora's on an island,
Which is
and
which is by the way, is Kingdom Hearts 1 is the middle of the time series.
yeah, there's 10 games or 9 games in a movie,
And again, a phone game.
and I'm including the mobile game. This series has a mobile game that is canon in the storyline of the overall series, which is hilarious.
Don't forget about the rhythm game.
Yeah, and I haven't played it yet, but yeah, they just came out with a rhythm game that's also canon, apparently.
Apparently, it's supposed to hint of what the Kingdom Hearts 4 is supposed to be.
I don't even want to think about Kingdom Hearts 4 because of how long we had to wait for Kingdom Hearts 3, but again, we should probably move on from this subject.
Yeah, we probably should. So what's the next note?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I'm actually at a loss. I don't know what we should discuss next.
I don't know. We could talk about like my default is always anime titties, but
I know it is. I know it is. I mean, well, actually, like, I think we can keep talking about Twitch and just like the overall people like joining the internet platform as a whole. And
yeah, we could talk about like even some of the bannings, I guess.
oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, no, Twitch is like going all out. Like a lot of people are actually running away from Twitch. Like there's a lot of big Twitch streamers that are like moving to YouTube to like stream full time on YouTube now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was kind of thinking the same thing. But
Really?
my problems with like YouTube streaming is how the fuck are you gonna find the stream?
Yeah.
You know?
Like even like PewDiePie, the number one YouTuber, when he goes live, you just have to so happen to be checking out his YouTube channel when he's live to like know that he is live. Because there's been a couple times where like I thought it was just a new video, and then I press it, and I'm like, oh no, he's fucking live.
That honestly, I feel like I like a dedicated like YouTube streaming like web link that probably would help a long way.
Or even if YouTube made like a separate app for YouTube live streaming.
Yeah, kind of like YouTube Kids, but honestly, I feel like the reason people are leaving Twitch is because they basically, how can I say this without getting my Twitch banned?
Tread lightly.
Yeah, I hope.
You're talking shit about your employer right now. Just remember that.
Oh, I get paid? Holy shit! What the fuck, my cash?
Yeah, what?
I feel like Twitch is kind of fucking up. That makes sense.
I think there's just been a vast overcorrection.
Not really overcorrection. I just feel like the things they ban is completely fucking ridiculous. Like, why ban the word simp, you know, or incel, for example? Or fuck, even PogChamp. Like,
I didn't know that PogChamp was banned. I don't know why. I don't even know what that stands for. I know that that's a word people use.
PogChamp is basically like exciting, you know, like play of the game.
Oh yeah, play of the game. That's what Pog stands for. I did know that.
So basically, like it's excitement, stuff like that. But again, like I don't want to talk about politics and such, but I feel like just banning emo, which had nothing to do with that, is just completely fucking stupid. Same thing with the word simp and for some reason incel, which doesn't make sense. I mean, I thought people fucking hate incels.
Like, they do, but like now it's like I think the reason why they banned those words is because people apparently I think with incel, but like I know that like simp is like thrown around very sarcastically, like very playfully, but like it's because like these words are supposed to be like mean and derogatory, so like they're putting it in the same classification as like name calling and like berating people, so like they put those words in that category, so that's why you can be banned now for using those words.
Yeah, but still, I think kind of stupid because most of the time, like if I'm calling someone a simp, I'm usually calling sarcastically. Like,
exactly, and like for the most part, that is what that word is used for.
Like you fail getting married, you fucking simp, you know?
you woman worshiper.
Yeah, exactly. But so like simp, I can kind of see it, but incel, really, like.
I mean, I feel like incel is like I don't think anyone would ever use that word playfully because like that is a community that is widely hated, and so like
Yeah, that's why I'm so shocked that they banned incel. Mainly because like everyone hate them and just like why ban like if I'm calling someone an incel, like whatever, you know?
yeah,
Like again, just and also some of the bans I can get banned for like kind of saying the words, but yes, some of the top streamers can like post full body nudity and not get banned.
yeah.
Like
There's
it's just
I know that there was a lot of like I know that like Twitch. From what I've understood, I haven't really been a part of Twitch for very long. Like I've been watching streamers on Twitch like for far less time than I've been streaming on Twitch myself. So like I don't think I have a full grasp on the Twitch community as much because I only just recently got into watching live streamers. I only recently got into live streaming myself. Uh, but I lost my train of thought. That's what actually just happened. I said too many words and I
ah,
forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah. Oh
perfect.
wait, I do remember what I was gonna say. What I've gathered is that Twitch really does prioritize their top streamers. Like their top streamers get away with a lot than their medium to lower class streamers, I'd say.
Again, we're kind of walking on thin lines by talking about that infinity, but you know,
This is just kind of like what I've gathered though, like just as someone somewhat on like who used to be on the outside looking in. Like
yeah, it's kind of bullshit to be perfectly honest.
but at
You
the
know,
same time I understand it though. Like they would give leniency to the people that's making Twitch their money, right? Like
yeah, but I feel like I feel like people are just fed up with the, I guess you can call it double standards. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Uh, I understand like it's partly double standards, it's partly also protecting your investment. Like is gonna if this person's making you X amount of dollars a month just for being on your platform, like I understand why they'd give them leniency compared to someone who doesn't contribute to Twitch as much who are breaking the rules. Like I kind of understand. However,
True,
if
but
these even if they are one of the top streamers and they're consistently breaking these rules, then I think it's a little unfair that you continue to give them these breaks.
yeah, definitely. Like I feel like that's what people are pissed off about.
Yeah, like I think like well, I might not entirely agree with it, but I do understand that if this is one of your top streamers and they break a rule, just this one like whether they do it like super rarely or even if this is their first time breaking a Twitch rule, but they make you a lot of money. I understand being a little bit more lenient compared to someone who's just on the platform. They break a rule and they're not as monetizable either yet or at all for you. Then I understand, well, these are the rules. Like, sorry, but if
E-
the top,
Even if it's sorry, even if it is the first time, like the big streamer get in trouble the first time, like yeah, I get it. You can kind of like brush it off, whatever. Like some people might be mad about it, but
Mhm.
if they continuously do it, I think that's when people kind of be like, okay, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like, I think it's partly unfair because it does look like double standards, but on the other hand, it's also that streamer reaping the benefits of them working hard and making themselves valuable to Twitch to get that kind of treatment, right?
yeah.
Like,
I understand, but I can still bitch about it, basically.
of course, but I'm very on the fence about it because like I do understand. Well, I also think it is unfair, but I fully understand why it's happening. And it's just because you have to think of it as Twitch as the employer and the Twitch streamers as the employees. And, you're going to make if you have, an all-star employee, you're not just going to get rid of them over a technicality or like on a whim, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you have, employees who are performing lesser, and they start breaking the rules, well then, like we can replace you in a heartbeat. So like we can take the hit of getting rid of you now. But you wouldn't just get rid of your top employee for breaking one rule, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like gateway. It's kind of like YouTube's like gateway of PewDiePie, you know? Like
Yeah,
it's not really good for the bottom line, you know?
it really isn't. But yeah,
But
that's
okay, I would like to do a full scale social that I like PewDiePie, chill.
I do.
Like
I also like PewDiePie. I've
I don't really watch him because like yes he was like LPR at one point, but I mainly watched like I don't know if you heard his name, Chucker Convoy.
Nope.
No, like I watched people like Chucker Convoy, um, Proton John, Nintendo Capri Sun, like those type of people, you know.
Hmm. I
You
mean,
have no idea what the fuck I'm talking
I
about,
don't.
do
I
you?
didn't recognize a single one of those names. But with PewDiePie, I definitely still keep up with him. I definitely still support him. I definitely still watch his videos. But I was a much bigger fan of him when he was doing, playthroughs of video games. But I understand you can only do that for so long before you get bored of it, and then your quality goes down because you're not as into it as you were before.
Yeah,
I
I can see
understand that.
that.
Like I understand that. But yeah, no, the guy, he's a good guy. Like essentially, like I still enjoy his content. I just don't. It's not one of those like I need to check PewDiePie to see if he's posted. I need to check PewDiePie if he's posted. It's just like, oh, like PewDiePie popped up in my recommended. I will watch it.
Yeah, that's true. Like he does like shit little work with charity and such.
Oh yeah.
He also said the N word, so
I didn't think we were going to talk about that.
hey, we got. I mean, we can't just suck his dick while like
Oh yeah.
while bringing up the
I mean,
negatives too.
he's
You know?
definitely not without his controversies. Like that's for sure.
Oh no,
But like,
no one is. You know, no
like
one is.
his controversies isn't up to us to work through. That's up to him, and he did it. He did what he had to do to explain his side. He did what he had to do to like pay for it. Of course, like he didn't go out unscathed from that
Yeah,
whole
like
thing.
yeah, he probably lost more money than what we're gonna see in our entire
Oh,
lives.
for sure. And like that's up
But
to him to.
actually, if you don't mind me kind of beating off like the track of this, but
What's up?
I kind of feel like I kind of feel like in terms of social media that you cannot make mistakes while destroying your entire life,
Oh, you can't.
which is
You cannot.
which
Like
is it. I'm
like
sorry, continue.
oh, it's just, no, you're completely right. Like any creator, anyone in the public space, they get scrutinized very heavily nowadays. Now, I know that there's pros to it, and I know that there's cons to it. And I know that the pros to it are very, very strong pros. And I know that the cons to it are very, very strong cons. So I don't know where I really land on that. I think if the person is able to prove that they are sorry and or they are not that person anymore, I think they need to be given a little bit more leniency. But,
Hmm.
if you find a tweet of someone using the N-word 10 years ago and, clearly beyond a shadow of a doubt, they are still that person, like they're still the same person they were 10 years ago, then yeah, give them hell. Do it. Like, cool. Like another nail in their coffin.
To me, it has to be case by case, which is a problem because with the I guess I really don't like using a name, but I guess cancel culture. I guess
Oh, yeah.
like it had to be case by case because if you just use a blanket, then do you will like intercept some people that did make a mistake, other than the people that just don't give a shit. You know?
And that's what I mean. Like, that's the same as taking it case by case. Because on the other hand, if you find a 10-year-old tweet of someone saying something, whatever, racist, homophobic, even if, regardless if they meant it,
Sarah.
etc. Regardless if they said it as a joke 10 years ago or if they meant it 10 years ago, and it's up to them, it's up to the person who tweeted it. If they can prove, like beyond a shadow of a doubt, that today they are not that same person and they are remorseful and they have proactively done things to make up for what they did or to actively change who they are as a person, I don't think they should be given a pass, but I don't think they should be as scrutinized as the person that goes like, yeah, I tweeted that 10 years ago. Yeah, I still mean it. That's the person that should be scrutinized. That's the person that, should be
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
on the
my
receiving
problems.
end. What?
Basically, like to me, it kind of feels like we said some dumb shit when we was like,
Oh, of course.
12, 13, like
That's another
definitely.
thing. Sorry, like one more thing that I will add. And like if this 10-year-old tweet from this person you're finding is a tweet that they tweeted when they were just like some stupid fucking kid, like I understand like if it's like a 35-year-old and you found a tweet that they posted when they were 25, like yeah, like scrutinize them. But if it's a 25-year-old and you're bringing up a tweet that they brought out when they were 15, like come on. Like they were.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that type of stuff. Like again, like it's case by case, and using like cancel culture as a back as kind of like a flat background. Like don't talk about other people's skeletons before you clean yours.
Oh,
That
of
makes sense.
course. And that's what you have to
Because
realize too, is that like in order to like, I guess, well, I mean like I don't really mean this because then no one could call anyone out on anything ever, but like if you're going to make someone, face their demons, you better make sure that yours are in check as well.
yeah, definitely. Like fuck, we really went deep.
Well, you brought it up, man. It was a good topic.
Yeah, that is a good topic. Like honestly, like I wish I wish I can talk about politics more, but I feel like it's fucking pointless because nobody gonna fucking listen to you.
Well, there's no, like, the thing is people are going to listen to you, but you're not going to change their minds. They're either going to agree with you and nothing can change your mind, or they're going to disagree with you and nothing can change their mind. Um, uh,
Yeah, like I guess
and like to the people
politics.
listening, like,
I'm
cause
sorry.
sorry, like to the people listening, like, cause I vibe with you a lot on that note. It's not that like we want to talk about politics because we want to have an edgy conversation. It's like no, we just like sometimes it's just good to have a safe space, like even if they're like not fully developed opinions, but just somewhere to like say these things out loud to other people who can process it, give you their point of view, and then you can turn it into a fully developed opinion. Like
Yeah, that's true because us when we were 16 is way different than us now.
oh yeah, like both of our opinions on a lot of things have changed, and like you and I don't like you and I are good friends, and we don't agree on everything,
No,
and
no.
we've never.
Five NC 10 for example.
But like it's doable. Like I'm not saying that like Josh has like horrible opinions about things and he's a bad human being and I'm friends with him anyways, or vice versa. It's just we don't agree on everything and we've never gotten into a freaking heated argument about anything because at
We
least.
never we, we never threatened to dox each other because of it.
But like I just mean like we disagree on things and we're both okay that we disagree on things, and in as long as your opinion doesn't hurt anybody and my opinion doesn't hurt anybody, or I'm doing things to hurt people because of my opinion and vice versa, like as long as that's not the case, like we're able to like have different opinions and still be friends and agree and like be civil.
Yeah, like again, full disclosure for anyone listening to this. Like, yes, there is some opinions where you just like fucking go nuts on the guy,
Oh yeah,
but
if someone's like
I
like genuinely like advocating for like some horrible shit, like for some genuinely misogynistic, some genuinely racist shit, then yeah, go all out on them. But if somebody just has a different opinion than yours and it's not hurting anybody and it's not toxic, like let them have a discussion with them, of course. Like if you think their mind needs to be changed and they're willing to have their mind changed, then like go for it, have the conversation, but it doesn't need to be a fight.
I feel like that was missing from politics today. Like just having civil discussions. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like I I guess I guess I hate the team oriented in politics. Like if like you talk about that common climate change and such like that, like people go automatically think you're on the left. And if
Yeah.
you talk about like fuck who the right, like I guess and economics, like how you feel like the government should be run. People go automatically think you're on the right, and it's just I fucking hate that. Like
Oh, it's identity politics, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck, don't
And
get me
like
started on that shit.
I'm more than willing to admit it's something we need a little bit less of, because there's a lot of things that, one side does better than the other. Period. There are certain things that one side does better than the other. Like that, but just because you're in favor of how this one side does something better, it doesn't make you this or that. It just means like I really like how they do this. I really like how they do that. And it doesn't mean
And
that
and
you
not to mention that, and not to mention that the other side can be right on some point, and some like one party can be right on one thing and wrong about the other thing.
Of course, and that's the issue with identity politics, because like I really like how this side does that, and then because of identity politics, you can be like, well, then you agree with the fact that they said this, and be like, no, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Like I guess we should really use samples, eh?
I don't want to use examples because
Me either.
that's
Me
walking
either.
that's walking the line. Um, uh, but yeah, no, but the sentiment's the same though, because
Yeah, I hate that we had to label everything in terms of politics. Like there's something that shouldn't be labeled, like climate change, for example, like the economy, like police brutality, like that type of stuff.
yeah,
Like to me, like it seems kind of stupid prioritizing, like the mask. Like whether or not you should wear the mask and such. Like
yeah,
yeah, some things should be like you can disagree with that, but the other things that be like one side is clearly fucking wrong, and
yeah.
it's just kind of stupid. It's like dying on that hill. If that makes sense.
Exactly, it's a stupid hill to die on. and
Yeah,
like and like for them, and like that like maybe not fully, because they're both sides are drinking their own Kool-Aid, right? So like there's a degree where both sides believe they are right, but then there's another side of that coin where like, well, I also believe I'm right because I don't want to say you're right, so I'm just going to disagree with you, and you took this stance first, so I have to take the opposite stance, period.
yeah, basically like echo chambers.
Oh yeah.
Like that's another thing that's the problem with politics. Like the people follow one side and only one side, and they never hear about the other side. Who the fuck's texting me? Oh, it's texting me. Okay, sorry about that.
All good.
And just like how are you supposed to have like conversation about politics when you're only going to talk about one side?
Exactly. There needs to be a healthy middle ground, because again, you have to admit that like, both sides have some pretty extremist ideas about stuff, and like
Oh,
I'm that's
definitely.
something I'm comfortable saying. Both sides, are can be
That that's
ridiculous about certain subjects, and like,
like the stereotypes of both parties.
yeah, and like that's something that we need to learn how to work out of both. That, because as long as one side has that argument against the other, it'll be very difficult for there to be a healthy middle ground, because once things get out of hand, then they're just going to fall back on the ridiculous, like the genuine ridiculousness of the other side, because
Yeah, like that's kind of one of the reasons why I feel like again, like I guess we are going down that road, are we?
well, I mean, we don't got much time left for the episode, but like if you have any closing thoughts.
um like what happening with Twitter right now as we recording, like people are celebrating the fact that the president at the time, Donald Trump, got banned.
Hmm.
Like for me, like it's not really what he said that got banned. Like yes, he said some fuck up shit. Like he probably was the reason that his supporters stormed the building. Like again, like tell me to shut up
Oh
if
no, right.
I'm crossing the line or anything. But to have him banned sends a really, really bad precedence.
I mean, I don't agree with that, and only because at least the way like if you they didn't ban the president, they didn't censor the president, they censored Donald Trump. The Donald Trump's presidential Twitter is still very active. It's still live. It's just Donald Trump's personal Twitter, and Twitter is allowed to do that. Like, it's their platform.
They are definitely allowed to do that. But the problem is, like, the past, like, what, 10, 15 minutes that we're talking about having a civil discuss like that, like, if you ban one side, like, that's kind of really fucking terrifying because you don't realize how much political power the social media has, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this, I personally feel that the sole reason Trump won the 2016 election was because of, social media.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's a fair statement.
and then they to basically just break down the like what you can say on politics and such. Like, it's really, really fucking scary, you know? Like, again, like, people can message me on Twitter, call me a fucking idiot and like such, but I feel like
I
this is
understand. I understand the sentiment that you're saying, but it just I can't help but like just fall back on like, but yeah, but like he deserved it though. Like I understand that
he may
like all the
he
politics behind it that you're saying like makes sense. Like yeah, like but they didn't censor the president. They censored Donald Trump. Like if
true,
you know what
but
I mean. Like they didn't really
yeah,
censor any
I fully
political.
I fully understand, but my argument is that people on the left think that this is what people on the right thinks now, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's the real. That makes sense.
No, I get it.
And if they do that, and then people who are talking about normal like Republican stuff that is not like part of the MAGA movement or whatever,
Hmm.
they're going to start banning that too. And then suddenly, all the people on the Republican side leave Twitter and join like something else, and tada, you have like a fucking echo chamber of only leftists and echo chamber of only white people, and just it be fucking.
No, I definitely
I,
know what you
I,
mean. Like
I,
if this.
I sorry. I feel bad for people who are trying to get into politics. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
for sure. But
Again, my apologies.
you are right though. Like if this, I hope this is just a one and done thing. Like this is just a straw that broke the camel's back. Like we've had enough. Like after what he did, like no, you're gone. Goodbye. And it just stopped there. I really hope that that's the case. But if this does snowball into something where, they start removing a lot of people from the right or yeah, the right side, um yeah, that you're right. They probably all just leave and go on to a different platform. Then that would just leave with two platforms where one is heavily one side and one is heavily the other.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I'm worried about.
Yeah, it's not that you're that not that you like feel bad for Trump or anything like that, but like this
No,
like
fuck no. I mean, to be fair, the memes about him was funny, but there is shit about his fate. There's shit about his political reign, I guess you can say, that I do not agree with.
oh, of
Like
course.
I'm not a Trumpo. I can't be throwing the U.S. election anyways. I'm Canadian, so
Oh. But yeah, I think this is actually a good place to end it. We're actually over time, but that's fine.
fuck. My
Uh,
apologies.
it's fine. A nice extra long episode for the first one since I've posted in a very long time. Um,
Honestly,
uh,
I hope I didn't get you in shit. To be
oh, we'll
honest,
find out. I'm posting it anyways. Like that's the point
whatever.
of this podcast, just for conversation. Like, you and I were able to have this discussion without, like screaming at each other, and it's just to like get your, because like again, if I stopped you, like if when you started that thought, if I just stopped you at, I don't think it was a good idea that they blocked Donald Trump, that would paint a very bad light on you. But like I let you finish your entire thought. I let you like work it all out loud without cutting you off, without, dismissing
Like,
you, and you were able to get like the point you were actually trying to come across with, right?
yeah, my point is like, yes, he probably should have been banned, but mine is the kind of, I guess you can call it the slippery slope of it all. But
Yeah.
you know,
And we just have to hope that this was a one and done thing. Like they got him out. Like he deserved to be out. This was, I think, the reasonable response. But it does, set it might snowball into something else, and like it's that snowballing that's worrisome.
yeah.
But
Again, I'm not a Trumpo. I don't like the guy. Chill.
but yeah, we are gonna end it there.
Okay.
Real quick, where can people find you? You're on Twitch. You're on Instagram.
Yes, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. I don't know what to put on Instagram. I do have a Twitter, as I mentioned before. Everything is basically my name, so you don't. So basically, you can just like, I guess Google King Tamacross and just be like, it's there. Hopefully, like on my Twitch, you can find my YouTube, you can find my Twitter. I'm probably gonna put Instagram on there, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that's that way you can yell at me about politics.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's King Tamacross. His name is Josh. Find him on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram.
Everything should be on below, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna put a link at least in the YouTube one. Um, uh, but yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Sorry it took me so long to post another episode, and there'll be another episode next week. All right. Have a good one.
God, I love anime titties.